native of Castleton. You don't remember the year? Not Castleton, but Castlereagh.
Castlereagh.
I always make the mistakes.
Yeah, I don't remember. When I was born, was it?
No. When did you go living there? You weren't born there, so you weren't?
No, I wasn't born.
You were born back near Hart somewhere?
I was, yes. Yeah, in Morning I was born, actually. Yeah. And we moved to Castleton in 19...
Well, it's Castlereagh now, remember?
Yeah, no, 44, I just think.
Yeah.
Castlereagh.
Well, you had a shop there, hadn't you?
I had. About 1946 to 48. 1946, 48.
Yeah.
No, I'm not too sure.
Oh, near enough.
Yeah.
And you were operating a shop there from the store, was
From
it?
the store there, yeah, tablet shop.
Yeah.
I used to, I did all Lacken North.
Ratlacken and
Ratlacken.
Donadoba.
Donadoba, yeah.
Belderry country too, didn't you?
Belderry, yeah. Back as far as Carrottyke, actually.
Yeah.
Down as far as Carrottyke, Rossport, on that way now.
How many years would you be at that now? When did you give it up, in other words?
I was at about 10 years.
Yeah.
About 10 years, yeah.
You were at it during the war years there, weren't you?
Just immediately after the war years.
You were telling me that flour was scarce. And
well, flour was very scarce that time.
Yeah.
I remember one incident. I can mention names.
Oh, indeed.
I think it was £4.5 of flour per head was the population at the time.
Yeah.
And in the country area, £4.5 of flour per head wasn't much. Wasn't much.
No.
But I remember buying wheat of a man, Lord have mercy on Pat Doher in Ross. It was in the stacks, in stooks actually, in the field in the morning.
Yeah.
Brought into a stack, thrashed, and it was in cakes of that night in
cakes of bread.
Ground. It was in cakes of bread that night. That's genuine now.
Yeah.
It was in cakes of bread that at 12 o'clock or 12 that night.
Yeah.
From Ratlack on that country now. I remember doing all that country. People were in an awful state.
They were for flour, wasn't they?
For flour and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was in a cake that night.
Yeah. Well, you also relieved the people back to Belmullet country too, didn't you?
Well, I wouldn't say I relieved them.
Well, during the war, they were looking for flour and it was no place to be found.
Yeah. I wasn't very fond of keeping to the letter of the law as far as flour was concerned. I used to get flour from Sligo actually.
Just
to come in by the north now. I didn't bring it in, but
yeah.
I got it through a source in Sligo, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it had to be a bit dearer than the ordinary price.
Yeah.
From memory, that time a bag of flour was about £2 for each stone.
Well, it wasn't how dear it was at the time, but to be able to get it, wasn't it scarce at the time?
You just couldn't get it.
That was the thing.
You couldn't get it.
Now, you were telling me that you had 2 mills at the house.
Two small mills.
What kind of mills were they?
Right. There were...
diesel engine jobs?
There was a little diesel engine, single plug diesel engine. It had to be started with a little starter, something like a cigarette lighter.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Swung.
Yeah.
Swing it, and off she went then.
Yeah.
One was a roller for rolling
Corn.
wheat, barley, whatever.
Yeah.
The other one was a hammer mill. It was for grinding it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were able to make flour, were you?
Well, wheat meal, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You did make it, didn't you?
We did, yeah.
And sold it back here.
Sold it back in Harris. Yeah.
To relieve.
Jack O'Hare used to do it first for me.
Yeah.
At the water mill, with the water mill in Powerstown.
Oh, the big one, yeah.
With the big one, and then Jack kind of went out of business.
Yeah.
And I bought this, and we used to grind it there.
Yeah. Well, you kept that now when you had the shop, did you?
For the shop, oh yeah. Until we left.
Yeah.
Until we left. Then things changed, as you know.
Oh, indeed.
Afterwards, like creamery came along, and
yeah. You were involved in that too, weren't you?
More or less, yeah.
1957, isn't it?
1957, that's correct.
Yeah. You were a member of the committee, were you?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, so you organised the whole thing?
Well, I wouldn't say I organised, but I helped. I'd say I helped now. I helped.
Well, I was told that you organised it. Is that?
I wouldn't say organised. I put a good lot of work into it.
Yeah,
say that, but so did I could mention an awful lot of names.
Well, who are they?
Like Martin Killeen, Cooney Lynn, Jack O'Hara, Pat Doher. I could keep going now. Do you understand?
Yeah. Well, there'd
be about 30 to 40 of us now. Johnny Riley.
And Andrew was in it too.
Andrew Riley, Johnny Herbert.
Yeah.
Charlie Kearney, very much.
Now, you were telling me too you held the meetings where I was living today, didn't you? In Clan Farrell's house, John Farrell's house.
No, where you lived one time.
Oh,
Over in Patrick Barrett's.
oh, was that where you held the meetings?
That's where we held the meetings.
Ah, yeah.
That's where we held the meetings. I remember about that, one incident about that creamery. We had a meeting of a Sunday evening and we were determined. It wasn't one now, the whole committee were determined, like, to get this creamery. And we had done our research on it.
Right.
And we had approached a Connery creamery, the present Connery creamery. But they hit us with the fee. Was it 4,500? As far as I remember.
That was an awful sum of those days.
In those days, like 4,500 is nothing now. It's the same as you hit a fellow today with 100,000.
Yeah.
The equivalent to that.
Yeah, yeah.
A committee without a bloody penny, like, you know.
Yeah.
And actually we were dismayed. And I remember when it was a Sunday evening, and fellas were saying, this is not on.
Yeah.
And we went actually out on the road, changed our minds when we were out near the main road, and went back in again, and we said, God's the way around this, do you know?
Yeah.
So we decided that we'd send another deputation to the Connery. This 4,500 would be share capital,
Yeah.
you see, and that had to be a way out of it.
Yeah.
So we went down and negotiated the deal thing, and we got away to divide the share that'd be over a 5 year period, if you like.
Yeah.
And therefore the sum wouldn't be as much.
Yeah.
For instance, if a man signed for 6 cows that time, it'd be, what, 6 trees, £18, wasn't it? It'd be £18. £18. It would be a fifth of it.
Yeah.
So it didn't leave we could go to the country and ask people for share capital.
So it was off the farmers you collected, was it?
Oh, it was, yeah.
You didn't borrow from banks or anything?
No, there was no money borrowed from banks.
Local farmers around?
All local farmers.
Ah, yeah.
All local farmers.
Yeah.
Good response now enough. A lot of people, well, there's another thing that about that creamery. One difficulty we had was there was old co-ops in this area in Monafari.
There was?
And there was another one in Ballycastle.
There was.
And they were all failures for some reason, I don't know now.
Well, the Ballycastle one held out for a long time.
Well, the Ballycastle one held well, but it wasn't what they envisaged, do you understand?
No, indeed it wasn't.
And a number of the older farmers, our grandfathers or fathers, were hit for money, do you understand?
Yeah.
And the co-ops had a very bad name.
Had they?
Oh, they had, of course.
Well, I heard that they were given, you know, great discounts in fertilisers and that kind of thing. The Ballycastle Co Op now, anyway.
The co-ops were good enough in themselves, but when those co-ops were set up, there were liability companies. We'd say if there was 10 or 15 farmers joined in that co-op, if there was any debts, they were liable for them.
Oh, I see.
Not like the present
co-op
that we were setting up was your shares was the only liability you had.
Yeah.
If you had £100 shares in it, if the whole thing went wallop,
yeah,
it ended with that. In other words, your farm wouldn't go.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to get that into people's heads, like, you know, that this, because nobody, like, there were bad times, like.
There indeed there were.
And the cause of the creamery was, the reason for starting the creamery was, before that, the housewife, in order to buy the groceries, she wanted to get money. She had eggs. She had the hen. Do you get me?
I know indeed.
And the pigs. Now, James Dillon made a deal with England, and he says he drowned England with eggs. But the British government at the time were smarter than them, and they gave grants for hen houses in the north of Ireland and in England, and the market for the eggs went. So the housewife had nothing to buy the groceries.
Oh, yeah.
And with mixed farming, you see now, check, it was only coming in every, now, a few times a year, selling cattle and all that.
It wasn't very big either.
And it wouldn't be too big.
Yeah.
Now, there were bad old times.
There were. So the creamery, that job
So we felt in that the south of Ireland, some of us like had been knocked around the boat, and we found out that fellas in the south of Ireland were better off.
So that's where you got the idea from, was it?
And more or less now, Now, plus Clark in Ballina. Clark started the pasteurising in Ballina. Before that, it was all the Ballina fellas that fellas around Ballina that supplied milk to Ballina. So the next thing, milk started going up from Lacken and Killala to Ballina, and we got the taste of the milk, and it was a monthly check.
Yeah.
You see, like that. Now the first milk we sold, as far as I remember, was 1 and 6 or 1 and 7 was again the primary.
Yeah.
That's an old money now.
I know.
Sounds very small.
Yeah.
And it's a small money, but at the time
it was good money.
It was a help, like.
It was. It was.
It worked out. It was a success.
It was. Well, that creamery you put up there put a lot of money into people's pockets
for
a good bit around now, didn't it?
I hope it did.
Well, it did now.
I did.
If you want to be truthful about it, it did, didn't it?
It did. There's a lot of prosperity as a result.
It made the farmers around, didn't it?
As you know as well as I did now, there's a lot of me now.
There is. Well, it wasn't
all around the area.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a couple of
creamery. And in addition to that, people that didn't supply milk, do you know?
Yeah.
It didn't suit everyone to supply milk. We never envisaged that it would suit everyone to supply milk. Matter of fact, we're not supplying milk here at the moment.
I know, indeed. I know. Yeah.
This place. It gave the other man a chance, like. Do you understand?
Yeah.
As a result of the extra cows, there was more calves in the area, and other men bought those calves, and the fertiliser job done a good. The fertiliser, a couple of old boatloads of fertiliser brought it to Killala at the time.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to buy that now only for the money they were getting from the milk.
Well, it was a help.
Well, it was a help.
A great help.
Well, didn't you accommodate farmers back as far as Belmullet?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, everywhere. We sent fertiliser out to Belmullet.
Until the 60s, until they built one themselves.
In addition to that, we helped Belmullet to get that creamery.
Is that so?
Yeah, we now they had their own committee independently.
Yeah.
But when it went down, although someone was on that committee at the time thought that Belmullet being an area you get the point that it would be a great area for milk. Yeah. We still felt that we would, if it nearly paid its way, that they were entitled to it.
Well, you were there to help the farmer, wasn't you, as well as yourselves?
And there was 4 or 5 of us on the old committee in Connery, and it took a good bit of doing out to get them to convince them.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was a Father Moore there. I think he was the chairman of that crowd in Belmullet.
Indeed, football.
And a fellow named the football man. A great old character.
Yeah.
A very sincere man. I remember him crying outside the Connery.
Is that so?
He was turned down.
I know, yeah.
See, a priest is different from a layman. We came out like to console him, although I'd be quite honest, I thought it might be kind of a lost case, and we said, it's not lost at all, we'll give it another try. You'll get it eventually. Yeah. Because we knew O'Mahony at the time, O'Mahony, the manager, he was a shrewd man.
Yeah. And
all O'Mahony wanted to get from Belmullet was, if he got the grant to build the creamery, that it wouldn't cost him any extra money. Yeah. That wouldn't cost the Connery Society very extra money. Yeah. And in addition to that, he wanted to get butter in, the sales of butter in the Snap EO area going. Yeah. McIntyre at the time in Mullet were wholesalers for the whole area. Right. And McIntyre, through the kind of a carrot, he says, if you give us the cream, he says, I'll buy all the butter off you. Yeah. You know, so it had a two-way one. Yeah. Tell me, did Karen Davis try to take it away from Palmerston at any stage? Well, yeah. I suppose you couldn't blame him. Did he try now? He did, yes. He did. He did. When would that be? In the 60s, was it? This is not when we got it. This is 1957, when we were organising it. Yeah, well that's when he tried it. Oh yeah. The most dangerous time. Oh, the worst time. But he made a mistake. Well, he didn't succeed anyway. No, he didn't. He didn't. I was up against tough enough. The fellas that was a lot smarter than me on that committee. You see, I'd say two of the reasons why he failed. Well, the first reason was number one. He went down to Sligo. There's about 4 or 5 co-ops in Sligo. Yeah. You have Riverstown. There was about 5 co-ops in it at the time now. There was another one in Ballymore. Yeah. And a Conley. And there was one in Tubbercully. What's it called, that name, the name of it? There was 5 co-ops. But he went down, and being a priest, he was a bit more mobile, I suppose, than us. And he'd done every manager in the place. Well, 5 managers. And of course the phone was there before. Yeah. I know that. One fellow was ringing up. But we went straight to the one man, like, and we stuck with him, like, you know. Yeah. In addition to that, we gave them a free site we bought that site at where the creamery is built in Palmerston, off 7 Knox. Oh yeah. And we gave them the free site. And Dominic Maguire, good enough of him at the time, we went to Dominic Maguire. Water was an important thing. It was. And there was a great spring there. And a mighty spring well there. That's right. And we went to Dominic and we said, well, you'll get certain amount. But in fairness, Dominic, he was a poor man. He said, you can have all the water you want. Yeah.
But it's true to say, Joe, that you were the cause, we'll say, of putting a lot of money in a lot of farmers' pockets all around the area.
But I wouldn't say I was the cause.
But I said the creamery.
I said
the
that
creamery
committee did.
They did.
I said that committee did.
They did. And you were one of the working forces in it, weren't you? The driving force in it.
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't like to
I was the
admit it.
chairman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Johnny Kelly that done up that Johnny Kelly and me done up that house in Carton. Hobans they were from Kilcommon that lived there.
Where you do?
Where we moved into. We bought that old farm at £800.
Oh yeah.
In 1943, I think it was.
So you were telling me your own home place was down where John Gallagher is today, the carpenter, or
Where John Gallagher, where he has the shop down there. Yeah, so it was.
And you had a couple of brothers that, well, you were businessmen, weren't you, all along?
Well, more or less, kind of business.
Kind of. They
Kind
owned
of businessmen, yeah.
Yeah. What did they own? You were telling me that they owned pubs. Which of them owns pubs now?
Murty owns a pub in a place called Johnstone Bridge.
Any particular name on it? No?
There is. The pub is the Hamlet, they call it.
The Hamlet. And what about the other fella?
The Hamlet. It's a dance hall effort and
oh, it's a big place.
And they do weddings.
Oh yeah.
They do weddings and all that kind of supermarket effort.
What about
the other fella's a pub and a super. The other two fellas, Murty are Jim and Jerry, have a pub and a supermarket near Drogheda, a place called Dooley near Drogheda.
Yeah, any special name on the pub there?
There is. Chalk Concrete.
Chalk?
Chalk Concrete.
Concrete.
Now,
Concrete
was an old chieftain.
Was it?
In Dooley. And they claim that the first stone church in Ireland was built in Dooley. Now, there's an awful lot of people claim, there's not parts of the country maintain that they have the first stone church and all that.
Yeah.
And it's not very far, it's very near now where the Battle of the Boyne. It's not very far from the Battle of the Boyne, like
1690, yeah, yes.
So it's not. No, it's very near, it's an industrial, we say it's an industrial area for this region. The cement factory is near it.
I was going to say that, that concrete you were on about there is...
it's not concrete, but it's very near it, like.
Yes.
There was an advantage, there had a great advantage there. When they were building that most modern in Europe, I suppose, the most modern concrete factory, cement factory in Europe. Yeah. When they were constructing that, all the heavy fellas with the big machines and that, I forget how many millions it cost. O Neill's were after doing, this was a little thatch pub when they bought it. Yeah. 4,600 as far as I remember it cost. Now, they went to Mead to a farm in Mead near Navan. And from there, they branched out, you see, that's how they bought that. Then they decided that they do it up, and it was these new lounges and all this thing, singing lounges, were just beginning to take root. Yeah. So they built this singing lounge, and they just had it ready
at the right time.
About 6 months before this thing started.
That's what they call a good businessman, isn't it?
Well,
in the right place at the right time.
It was more good luck, I'd say, than one guy.
Oh yeah, it's the story of
the bloody thing was paid for. It cost a lot of money to build it. Yeah. It was paid for the first 2 years.
Now, what about this woman that owns the nursing home? What's her name?
Margaret. Yeah. She's Margaret Gordon.
And where is she situated?
She's in a place called Laytown.
Oh, that's near Dublin, is it?
No.
Meath?
It's near Drogheda. It's on the sea coast. Bettystown.
Oh, yeah.
Bettystown. Laytown is only a nickname, like it's a little village.
Yeah. I heard of it. Any particular name on the nursing home?
There is.
Killala House.
Killala House.
Now, Killala is a place our husband came from Laytown, and Killala is somewhere, some old monastery near Dromahare in Laytown.
Oh, yeah.
And the crust of that. Yeah. It was an old Protestant rest home or summer home for people from Dublin. The church body. Yeah. It was a place they used to bring them out on holidays in summertime, you see. Yeah. And it was a big one-story effort, little cubicles, you see. Yeah. And she had a post office before that in a place called Balrath. So she sold the post office. And I was mad as was still the post
Indeed,
office.
indeed.
I thought, I says, the old post office is good enough and you're all right and your husband is working.
Right, right.
But anyway, she bought this and they done it up and it's a great success.
Oh, indeed. You're business people, are you?
It's a great success.
You were also involved, Joe, there, you were telling me about the first shipment of, what was it, slag?
Slag that came into
Killala.
Into Killala.
Do you remember the year? I have it in a book somewhere anyway. There's a book being published lately, Progress. You saw it, I suppose. You're in it.
I didn't actually know.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to have it here with me tonight, but I forgot it.
I want to know. I can't give you the year on the slag.
Yeah.
Number one, we started the branch, the IFA branch from memory in I think it's 1955 in the first started.
Yeah. Would it be the same committee now you had for the creamery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same
The same committee.
Did you have?
Plus a good few people in Killala that I would like to pay tribute to.
Yeah.
A fellow named McHale, Dominic McHale,
Yeah.
one anyway. A fellow named Pat Hogan, and others now
Yeah.
in Killala. Now I wouldn't like to say
Indeed.
much. I felt that maybe the merchants in Killala might have done little more to help us at the time,
Indeed.
but they have done great since.
But it wasn't in their interest to help you now, in all fairness.
Well, I suppose I couldn't blame them. I suppose.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You see,
Well, did
some-
Anthony Lynn Cooney pilot the first
Tony
ship?
was the pilot of the first boat in there.
Yeah.
We bought a boatload of slag from the AWS in Dublin. You probably had that long ago anyway. And Cooney, I think, and Johnny Rogers and myself went up. And what was it? We made a deal on it
Yeah.
anyway. There was an awful row about it at the time. It was stopped on the high seas.
Was it?
And the first boat was stopped on the high seas.
How far out?
Well, we don't know how far out. It was coming. We were told it was coming to Killala. We bought this boatload of slag, 450 or 480 tons, and it was coming to Killala. But we were foolish enough to give it a bit of publicity.
Yeah.
Michael Dillon at the time and, did what you were doing tonight, like, you know, interviewed us about all this, and we spilled the beans that it was coming, like.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
And powers that be in Ballina were bigger customers than we were anyway.
Indeed.
And this boat never arrived anyway in Killala, it was stopped.
Ah, yeah.
But eventually the following year anyway, oh that's right, we got that boatload of manure all right, but we had to take it at Ballina. But we had a price made that it should be taken at Killala, the price was at Killala Quay.
Yeah.
Because I remember what the price, the selling price of the farm at that time was £10 a ton.
Yeah.
But it's more money now for,
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
8%
yeah.
slag, or 8.5% slag. And I think it was 9.25 it was costing, £9 5 shillings, I think, from memory now.
Yeah.
It was costing us, and there was 15 shillings allowed. That wasn't a very big profit.
No.
It was only just to cover expenses.
Yeah. Well, did you have to build any stores or do
Oh
it?
yeah, that store at the quay, we bought that off Niall McCormick.
And you built it and did it up?
It was built up on all the people around the area like had there was 6 weeks out there on that channel dredging it. Voluntary.
I was going to ask you that. Was it
Voluntary
that?
labour, yeah.
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 So you got that going through the co-op?
Yes.
Now, you were also involved in the setting up of the present-day mart in Ballina in 1957, is it?
Yeah.
59? 59?
59, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That started through the Knock Me O executive or the
Yeah.
so it did.
Were you a member of that, you were?
I was, yeah. One of the
Yeah.
founder
I
members.
see your name is down on the plaque there of the founder members of the Mayo Sligo Mart in Ballina.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
That idea started off in both a place called in Bofeenan. It was a meeting one night in Bofeenan. I remember some of us was in Dublin at an NFA meeting, and we came back and it was rumoured that the mart was going. It was a bit too soon now, maybe it was
Before its
to be
time.
quite honest about it, being a small farmer, do you understand?
Yeah.
I felt that a mart was necessary, but I wasn't that often into it. Some of us felt that it was a bit too soon, which worked out it was a bit too soon to buy it.
Yeah, well,
There was fierce opposition.
Tony Dunham said the same thing, it was a bit too soon, you know, and that the Dunleavys were there too soon before you.
And that they were also there too
Yeah,
soon, like it was a bit before its time.
Yeah. But it worked out well, didn't
But
it?
eventually it worked out well after a big fight. There was a big fight over it.
I suppose there was.
But that was planned out in an old hall in Warfina.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Someone was. I won't say who introduced it now because I would like to.
Karen Davis, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Wasn't?
It was supposed to be. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
we leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. I want to.
You left then altogether when you got all going and went up to Meath, didn't you?
Well, I tell you, I had a small farm, as you know, in Killala.
Yeah.
And all my brothers were in Meath, and they were doing fairly well in it. And I had a young family.
You want to be near Dublin?
I felt, I felt that maybe it was, at that time, there wasn't the same facilities here for education as there is today, like. And I felt that it was a better place maybe to
well, there was better land in Meath too, wasn't
there? A bit better, a bit better.
Yeah.
Some great land around Killala, every bit as good as, some of it is every bit as good as Meath.
Well, you had better access to the
So
markets up there, hadn't you?
I applied for an exchange to Meath, and the land commission were anxious. I had enough land, like, kind of to justify that would give 5 or 6 divisions. I applied for an exchange to Meath, and I got it.
Oh yeah.
And
you don't know what year you left, do you?
Yeah. 19 years ago.
1867. 67.
1967. 1967.
Oh yeah.
1967. Went into a green field.
Did you?
Yeah.
Had the houses and all built for you?
No. I made a deal with the land commission that they generally built they built the house on, but there was no house. They showed me the farm and there was no house in it, you see.
Yeah.
And being always, I was in a hurry all my bloody life, too much of a hurry anyway. This happened in February, and they said they'd have a house built by autumn, like, you know.
Yeah.
And there was no farm yard as such, but they gave me the amount of money that the farm yard would to build my own unit.
Oh yeah. And get on with it.
And get on with it. These one of these, it's not modern today, but it was
in those days.
In these days, like one of these good big hay shed and milk and pedal and all that. Yeah. And we spent the first winter anyway. It didn't work out as we thought. Well, some hold up with the land commission at the time. But now I built the farm yard. We were grand with the farm yard. The farm yard was ready. Yeah. But the house wasn't ready, and we had the land leased over here from them. And the land in Meath, I had to go one of the ones because there was not, we had all the field stuff in Meath. Yeah. So there was a hold up at the land commission during the summer. Was there a strike or something? I think there was. They hadn't the house built. There was no bloody house built anyway. It wasn't built in March, so there was nothing to do with go, and we got a caravan. And we lived in the caravan until March.
What was the name of the place in Meath? Ashburn, was it?
No, Sutherland Road.
Sutherland. John is in Beltrasna, isn't he?
John Farrell's in Beltrasna.
Yeah.
That was Joe O'Neill there, talking about the 1950s and the party.